Hey guys, here we are at Spielberg or Red Bull Ring in the F1 cars for the iRacing Grand Prix series. We have a 22 car field. We got a lap of a 108.98, put us in 15th. We have like an optimal of like a 107.2, so that probably put us like top 5 in pace. But I feel like we keep wrecking, especially with this full tank car. There's just no downforce whatsoever. So I just put in like so much more. I put in like a whole extra front click of wing. So I feel like we're like miles down the straight now, but we might actually be able to turn. I have not run a single lap at this new setup. I just was absolutely horrendous in qualifying with the baseline Spielberg. So running Donington, I'm just absolutely freaking baffled. All I know is that everyone seems to be running mediums to start, I think. Yes, they're all doing about 42 laps on the start and then switching to sauce for the end stint. I can't freaking do a single qualifying run without wrecking. Or I mean, just the curbs, all these 3D curbs, dude. It's just you touch one and you spin around. Like I've never experienced anything this bad before. I mean, turn one, you're bouncing off the inside curb and then you spin out, or you miss it and then you run on the outside curb. It's not even like the sausage curb. It's just like the red and white stripes. Hit that, you're dead. Hit the exit curbs, exit a turn 9, dead. Exit a turn 10, dead. And it brings you out. There's spikes in it. It's just like I don't know how this car is savable. So, I mean, I just feel like just everyone's either gonna die, everyone's gonna be super cautious. But um, uh, I don't even know what to say. It's just gonna be a sad race, I think. See ya. What? Oh.
Green flag, green flag. Right side. Clear on the right. Car right. Clear on the right. Car right. Clear. Just set your fastest lap of the session. Just set your fastest lap of the session. Left side. Clear on the left. Car on your left. Clear. Car right. Clear on the right. Make sure you cut the course. You'll have to slow down and give up the time gain. to set your fastest lap of the session.
Testing.
That was your fastest lap of the session. Car on your left. Clear on the left. New fastest lap for you. finish your fastest lap of the session. not a penalty. We're cutting the course.
Nothing.
Okay, we're halfway to the finish. Clear. Slow down. You got a penalty. We're cutting the course. Right side. Clear. Pit box in 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. Move it, move it. Car on your left. Clear. Car right. Clear. Just second fastest lap of the session.
Market symbol, fuck the
Car
fuck.
right. Clear on the right. Car right. Slow down. You got a penalty for cutting the course. Clear on the right.
Oh, come on, burn off, piece of shit.
Bas bas.
Left side. Clear. Five to go. Car on your left, clear. on the left. Car on your left, clear. Car right, clear on the right. White flag, one more lap to go. Left side, clear on the left.
No! Let's go!
Alright, there's checkered flag. Nice run, solid work.
What a race. What a freaking race, man. Finished one lap down, but let's look at the spot scan, shall we? Adam went from 18th to 4th. Great job from him. We went from the pits, so I would say similarly like 19th to 8th or so. Not sure how many people start from the pits, but back of the field, right with Eric, looks like both up around 13 or so spots. 7 for us, but that was because we didn't start in the grid, but some guys did. And yeah, it looks like there was 5 guys that wrecked out, and we had such a great battle. Such battle's interesting choice of words. It was is the fact that we chose that Donington setup. So we were so low on top end, but we could stay in the slipstream of so many cars. We stayed in the slipstream of Reynaldo for like 15 laps, it seemed like, in that first stint. And then as soon as he pitted, it looks like a lot of guys were doing 2 stops, which was interesting. I thought like the main time slot was doing a 1 stop. Let's see, like Mario ends up getting the win here. Pretty cool. The Austrian driver gets the win at Red Bull Ring, by the way. Um, let's see, looking at his looks like he did stop at lap 33. Did he have any others? Does not look like it. So did he do a soft medium race plan? Let's see. He's on lap 32 here. He's on. Whoa, what the heck? Did he start mediums and then did the longer stint on softs? So that's a very peculiar strategy. Wow, that is what he did. So I felt that the softs need to manage the shorter stint rather than a longer one, but yeah, interesting strategies. And then similarly for James, did he also do like lap 33 or so? I see a pit stop around 31, and then yeah, so it looks like so a lot of people doing early pit stops, doing the undercut. Reynaldo, he was who I was running with, and I thought I saw him. Did he pit like lap 1 or 2 or something? That was very odd. The fact that I saw him like right behind me. And okay, so here he goes. where did he start? He started P6, or no, he started third actually. Goes in the gravel, loses a few spots on mediums, does his first lap on medium, comes straight to the pits, and then does he go like 70 laps on softs at the end, or does he split this up into like two 35 lap stints? This is such an interesting strategy. So looking at his next pit stop, he pitted, yeah, lap 36 and then went to the end. So did two basically full stints on softs and then one lap on mediums. I guess that's how much quicker they thought the softs were, but that is yeah, I'm just trying to tell. I mean, they did burn up a bit, but I was not expecting there to. I was expecting there to be a drop off that there never really was. So let's look after like 20 laps or so on the mediums, just getting a sense of average lap time. This is impacted by fuel though because the fuel load did go down, but we can see in some draft here a lot of high or low 110s. Then as soon as we went back to the softs, you can see low 110s, maybe a few nines here as well. 20 laps into the stint though, that was lap 62, and here's some 109, so maybe. It's just inconclusive. I felt like the top end made the bigger difference, and I could have been like, oh, if I ran with the Spielberg setup, I would have been able to have the higher top end, but just the low downforce in turn one, in turn three, and turn four, as well as the fact that you could just see me gain through six and seven, I felt like it was a much safer setup. Maybe I couldn't push as much, but starting from the pits, I would have had to fight through the field either way. It's always just these grids are a bit chaotic. And if I just get back to the start, I chose not to start on the in the chose not to start on the grid. And was there any wrecks back here that made it look like a good decision? I see that they're three wide, and I already see someone spin ahead. And this is Ali. Sends it up the inside, then gets turned from some net code and broke their front wing. Did they recover? Wow, they did. Recovered to 11. So nice job for them for staying in it. Didn't destroy any wheel or suspension stuff. Just knocked off their front wing, it looks like. Um, just so skipping forward to us. So yeah, at the end of lap one, was there any other chaos or so? I think these guys are just slow. I don't think they were involved in anything. So side by side here, we're up to 15th already. So yeah, that's interesting. So another guy just going wide there. And this person's sending it through the field. Who is this? That's Amin, and where did he finish? Oh man, he was one of the guys that ended up wrecking out since he looks really quick. Let's just skip ahead to lap 10. That's probably where he had his incident. He's already up to 7th at this point. I'm guessing it's going to be a turn 1 curb issue because I feel like people that were just pushing are probably going to use up the curb on exit there. Up to 6 now, really flying. And turn 1, nope, made it through there. Okay, he's having a really intense battle here with Adam, and Adam ends up finishing 4th. So this right now is a battle for 6th place. Heading into turn 4. Oh, this is what I saw. I saw a car flipping in the sand. Let's watch this from TV view. Yeah, that is quite the sight. I just see that in slow motion here. Wow, the way the car just that is quite miraculous. I'm going to see this on board. Yeah, that is very quite incredible. So let's see, roll bar here. And then finally chase you just to see the exact cause. We're going side by side in the braking zone. One car is going a bit left, one car is going a bit right, and man, it was definitely not egregious at all. Just tapped wheels, and it's just crazy. Looks like Adam also ended up going wide, but survived the incident. Yeah, it was just good hard racing that led to a huge wreck there. So, yeah, I felt like we were not too far back from this train or so. We have James, and then we can see them right here. So, I feel like they were able to just pull away, but I was like, if there's any chance we could catch this draft train, this ends up being James, Daniel, Adam, and where do they end up finish? James, second, Daniel. I don't see a Daniel anywhere. Oh, wow, he finished. Okay, he's one of the guys that also wrecked out, unfortunately. Wow. So I'll have to look at all those incidents, but we have Kent coming through here, and then when did we were kind of staying in the draft of Kent for some time, it looks like. Is this Kent? I keep losing the cars. I don't know why. I'm trying to find him, and he disappears. This is Kent. Yes, he is the 10 car, ends up finishing 12th behind us. So Daniel is behind us here. And wasn't he, did he have an incident? No, he's just running back here. Looks like he did the early lap one pit stop and is catching back through the field with Reynaldo. So I know they eventually catch both of us. So let's see. Here Reynaldo goes. And now, what the heck? I thought Daniel was right behind him, but I guess not. We're staying with him. So basically, Comet lap 24, and we stay with him until he ends up pitting lap 36. Yeah, it was like 12 laps straight with him as soon as he went to the pits. We lost him. I was like, yeah, if we pitted and then took softs, since that was still our strategy. I mean, where'd he end up finishing? He ends up finishing sixth. Maybe we could have somehow finished seventh or at least near him, but I just didn't think the softs would be able to last that long. So, I guess seventh versus eighth place, not a huge difference in the end. Just seeing if there's any other moments. Oh yeah, we haven't looked at the other instance. So we saw Amin. We haven't seen what happened to James. So James running in eighth here. Did anything? Looks like there was damage on lap 5 to fall back from 110s to like 112s. Was there an incident? Car looks pretty good still. Lap times don't look great. But then he just retires? This is just very peculiar. End of lap 16. Does he have something happen on lap 15? So oh, there we go. I remember seeing there was a spun around car here. I mean, he lost a good amount of time after, I mean, here he's running in 8th place compared to Daniel, just loses it on his own there, unfortunately. But, I mean, no damage to the car, so kind of surprised he ended up retiring at that point. Then we have Andre, about 10 laps later. There is something. He's battling for 15th. He's the 4th of the 5 retirements during this race. Oh, final corner. That's another 3D curb issue, looks like. The way the car just bottoms out over those curbs is just so unforgiving. Let's watch that again. Man, at least I guess the positive is it was early on because that really could happen any lap. And then finally Daniel, he is running 15th throughout this cycle. And then heading over to lap 48 looks like when he has his retirement. He is running 15th when this happens. Lap 49. Oh, there was the turn one. Yeah. Feel like it was going to happen to someone. happened to me so many times in practice. And so, I mean, I'm just impressed with the fact that it happened as few times as it did in the race because this is so easy to do. Yeah, that's I mean, just to see the exact cause, if we go in slow motion here, you can see his left front goes over the curb, and as he starts to accelerate, you can see the left rear. It's just kind of like shaking up and down the suspension, and as he's accelerating, it's just the instability of the car. The right rear is trying to accelerate really quickly, the left rear is going up and down, and that's what causes it to spin. It's just, it's so harsh. But yeah, let's see. Oh, finally, our last lap pass, or next to last lap pass. Great battle we are having here with Michelle. Yeah, it is, or Michael, or I guess the French Michael. Um, yeah, it was definitely the clear difference in terms of the setup. We had an interesting way to, that was pretty fun. The lap car was like a pick for us. It's like we got him so quickly, and then he was able to get us back like within the next straight. It was like I tried to pull the gap after that, but you can see, I think he got us into turn 3 here. I want to see just how much faster are they going into this with the DRS and my low downforce or high downforce setup. So riding on board here with the DRS wing open, he maxes out 196 as he goes into the corner, while we're going 170. He's going 26 miles per hour quicker for like 40 kilometers. That overtake speed is ridiculous. The DRS plus the setup just made it so easy for him to get by. And it's like we're right on his bumper here with the DRS wing open and can't do anything with it. So definitely required us to use some interesting strategies. This is, I'll just watch the final 2 laps here. So I know I was going to watch the last 2 laps. Just want to point out that overtake. So that last second turn in to send managed to force him to keep the door open. And not only that, but we were able to keep the DRS for the next straight because we were behind into the braking zone, but still managed to get alongside and respect the 9 car for leaving a space there. But you can see the fact that we were able to get alongside, get the pass done, still have DRS for the next straight, defend on the inside, and then Michelle or Michael ended up going in the sand. That really saved us. So those three things all coming together, the sand, the overtake, and the DRS, all pulled us up into 8th place, coming to the finish line. And yeah, great battle there. Definitely very fun to try to find a way around with low top end, high downforce setup. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.